Your retina is rebuilding itself right now while you sleep. Your brain is clearing out proteins linked to Alzheimer's. But if you're not eating the right thing before bed, your body is literally cannibalizing itself to get what it needs. And you have no idea this is happening. Welcome back to the Healthcare Workshop. My name is Dr. William, and today I'm going to show you exactly what's happening inside your body at night, and more importantly, how to stop the self-destruction and start the repair that will literally change your vision and memory for the rest of your life. Most people think of sleep as a time when everything shuts down. Your brain rests, your metabolism slows, your body just waits for morning to arrive. But that's completely wrong. Sleep is actually when your body runs its most intense repair operations. Your brain doesn't rest at night. It works harder than almost any other time. Your eyes don't take a break. They rebuild themselves. And if the raw materials aren't available, your body starts breaking down other tissues to get what it needs for this critical nighttime repair. This is the mechanism behind premature aging, cognitive decline, and vision loss that most people never understand. Let me explain what's really happening inside your body right now. When you fall asleep and enter deep sleep, something remarkable occurs in your brain. Your brain physically shrinks by approximately 6 to 8%. This isn't metaphorical or theoretical. Neuroscientists have documented this using advanced brain imaging techniques like functional MRI. They can literally watch your brain shrink as you enter deep sleep. When your brain shrinks, it creates microscopic channels between your neurons. These channels are like tiny highways. Through these highways, cerebrospinal fluid rushes in like a cleaning crew moving through an empty warehouse. This process is called the glymphatic system, and it's one of the most important biological discoveries in neuroscience over the last decade. This cleaning crew has a very specific job. It doesn't just remove any waste, it flushes out damaged proteins that accumulated during the day. One of these proteins is beta amyloid. You might have heard of this protein because it's the same protein that builds up in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. But here's what most people get wrong. People with Alzheimer's don't have a disease that suddenly appears one day. What happens is their glymphatic system stops working properly over decades. The cleanup crew fails to run its regular cycles. Beta amyloid accumulates year after year. Over decades, these protein plaques build up and destroy neural connections. The brain deteriorates, memory fades, eventually cognitive function collapses completely. But here's the hopeful part. Your glymphatic system is designed to clear beta amyloid every single night. It's supposed to work. The system has been running your entire life since childhood. The problem is that this nightly cleaning process requires specific conditions. It requires deep sleep to activate. It requires adequate blood flow to support the clearing process. It requires specific nutrients to be available for supporting the chemical reactions involved in protein clearance. And it requires your body to have sufficient energy and resources to complete the cleanup work without breaking down other tissues. When any of these conditions are missing, the glymphatic system works at reduced capacity. At the exact same time this is happening in your brain, something equally critical and equally important is happening in your eyes. Your retina, that ultra-thin tissue at the back of your eye, is packed with approximately 130 million photoreceptor cells. These are the cells that capture light and convert it into electrical signals that your brain interprets as vision. During the day, every single photoreceptor cell is bombarded by light. Every photon that hits your retina creates an oxidative reaction inside the photoreceptor. This light exposure generates millions of free radicals. These free radicals damage the cell membranes and the delicate structures inside photoreceptor cells. By the end of the day, your retinal cells are literally injured from the constant bombardment of light. But at night, your body attempts to repair these injured cells. Your retina enters a regeneration cycle. This is when your body replaces damaged photoreceptor outer segments that got worn down from the day. Cell membranes are repaired. Energy is restored to depleted cells. The retina rebuilds itself. But this regeneration process is expensive in terms of energy and nutrients. Your body needs specific building blocks. It needs vitamin E to protect cells from oxidative damage. It needs fatty acids to rebuild cell membranes. It needs glucose for energy to fuel the rebuilding process. It needs antioxidants to neutralize free radicals. Here's the problem that most people face. If you go to sleep without having consumed these specific nutrients during the day or evening, they're not available in your bloodstream. Your body tries to run the repair process anyway because the biological program is hardwired, but it can't complete the work properly without the materials. So your body starts breaking down other tissues to get what it needs. It starts breaking down less critical proteins looking for the amino acids and nutrients it needs. It starts converting muscle tissue into glucose for energy. It's literally cannibalizing itself, using its own structural components to pay for repairs. And this happens night after night. Over weeks and months and years, this incomplete repair, combined with tissue breakdown, accelerates aging across your entire body. Your brain ages faster, your eyes age faster, your overall health declines. You experience cognitive fog, memory problems, and vision deterioration. Most people assume this is just inevitable aging. They think it's genetic. They think it's bad luck, but it's not. It's a result of nighttime repair that's incomplete because critical nutrients weren't available when needed. Now let me show you how to fix this. There are 3 specific foods that contain exactly the nutrient profile your brain and eyes need for complete nighttime repair. These foods work because they contain concentrated forms of nutrients that your body specifically uses during the glymphatic clearance and retinal regeneration processes. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're not expensive, they're not hard to find, they're just foods that happen to contain exactly what you need. The first food is the almond. Almonds contain vitamin E, specifically alpha-tocopherol, which is the form your body recognizes and actively transports directly into your cells. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant. This is important because it means it can embed itself directly into the fatty membranes of your retinal cells and your neuronal membranes. When vitamin E is present in these membranes, it acts like a protective shield. When free radicals try to damage the cell, they hit the vitamin E instead. The vitamin E absorbs the oxidative damage. The cell stays intact. This is incredibly efficient because vitamin E can regenerate and be hit multiple times, whereas your retinal cells are essentially irreplaceable and cannot regenerate easily. But almonds do something else equally important for your long-term vision. They improve endothelial function, which is the health of your blood vessel linings. The tiny capillaries that feed your retina are only about 5 to 7 micrometers in diameter. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 1/10 the size of a human hair. That's incredibly small. If these vessels lose flexibility or become stiff, blood flow constricts and your retinal cells don't get fed. Almonds contain polyphenols and L-arginine that keep blood vessels flexible and elastic. These compounds improve the production of nitric oxide, which is the molecule your blood vessels use to signal that they need to dilate and expand. This ensures that oxygen and nutrients reach your retinal cells even during intense nighttime repair work. Research has shown that people who consume adequate vitamin E have a 25 to 30% lower risk of age-related macular degeneration. That's a significant protective effect. And 1 ounce of almonds provides nearly half the recommended daily value of vitamin E. The second food is the walnut. Walnuts contain alpha-linolenic acid, which is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Your body converts this into EPA and DHA, which are the exact forms of fatty acids that your brain incorporates into neuron membranes. When omega-3 fatty acids are abundant, your neuronal membranes stay flexible. Electrical signals travel faster, neurons communicate more efficiently. You experience this as better memory, clearer thinking, and improved focus. Studies show that people who consume higher amounts of omega-3 fatty acids have approximately a 20% lower risk of cognitive decline. Additionally, walnuts contain melatonin, the natural sleep hormone. But melatonin does more than just regulate sleep. Inside your brain, melatonin functions as a powerful antioxidant. It protects your neurons from oxidative damage while your glymphatic system is doing its clearing work. This is why consuming walnuts before bed is so effective. You're not just getting the omega-3 fatty acids for membrane building, you're getting an antioxidant that works specifically when you need it most. Walnuts also contain polyphenols that reduce inflammation in your brain tissue. Neuroinflammation is one of the primary drivers of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. When your brain becomes chronically inflamed, neurons deteriorate faster. Your cognitive decline accelerates. When you consume walnuts before bed, you're sending compounds directly into your brain at the exact moment when it's most vulnerable to oxidative damage and most receptive to protection. The polyphenols will work throughout the night as your glymphatic system is clearing damaged proteins. The third food is the raisin. Raisins contain high concentrations of polyphenols, particularly compounds like quercetin and camphorol. These are powerful antioxidants that work through different mechanisms than vitamin E. Quercetin specifically protects retinal cells from oxidative stress and light-induced damage. This is particularly important because your retina is constantly exposed to light stress. Raisins also contain other beneficial compounds like ellagic acid and catechin, which work synergistically to provide comprehensive antioxidant coverage. But more importantly for nighttime nutrition, raisins contain a balanced combination of glucose and fructose paired with dietary fiber. This creates a steady, gradual release of energy rather than a sharp spike. Your brain doesn't stop consuming energy when you sleep. It continues to use energy for glymphatic clearance and memory consolidation. In fact, your brain uses approximately 20% of your body's total energy even while you're sleeping. If your energy supply runs out at night, your body starts breaking down its own tissues for fuel. This is called catabolism, and it accelerates aging. Raisins provide steady energy throughout the night so your repair processes can complete without your body cannibalizing itself. Now, here's what most people get wrong about nutrition. They think that just eating healthy foods in general is enough. They think it doesn't matter when you eat them, but that's not how this works. The effectiveness of these foods depends critically on timing. If you eat almonds, walnuts, and raisins at random times during the day, your body uses them for general metabolic purposes. Some nutrients get stored, some get used immediately, some get excreted. But if you eat them 30 to 45 minutes before bed, they're available at the exact moment when your brain is entering deep sleep and your retina is beginning its regeneration cycle. Your brain has specific windows of neuroplasticity. These are windows when your brain is most capable of structural change and memory consolidation. These windows open as you fall asleep and deepen during deep sleep. If you provide specific nutrients during these windows, your brain incorporates them far more efficiently than if you provide them at other times. The research on this is clear. Circadian-aligned nutrition produces significantly better results than the same nutrients provided at random times. In fact, studies show that nutrients consumed during circadian optimal windows produce approximately 40 to 60% better results than the same nutrients consumed at suboptimal times. The protocol is simple and straightforward. Soak 6 to 8 almonds in water the night before or the morning of. This is important because it deactivates enzyme inhibitors that are naturally present in almonds. These enzyme inhibitors protect the almond when it's in the soil waiting to grow, but they prevent your digestive system from efficiently breaking down the nutrients. When you soak almonds for 6 to 8 hours, these inhibitors get deactivated and the nutrients become more bioavailable. Research has shown that soaked almonds actually contain more available vitamin E than unsoaked almonds. Peel off the brown skin in the evening before consumption. Take 2 to 3 walnut halves from raw, unroasted walnuts. Roasting can damage the delicate omega-3 fatty acids through heat oxidation. Measure out 5 to 7 raisins. 30 to 45 minutes before bed, consume this small serving. That's it. Less than 1 minute of preparation, less than 1 minute of consumption, but profound effects on your brain and eye health that will compound over weeks and months. When you eat this small serving, your digestive system begins breaking down the foods. The vitamin E starts being absorbed through your intestinal lining. The omega-3 fatty acids begin the process of absorption and conversion into forms your brain can use. The polyphenols and glucose enter your bloodstream. All these compounds start circulating at steadily increasing concentrations. By the time you enter deep sleep, your bloodstream is bathed in antioxidants. Your neuronal membranes are being rebuilt with omega-3 fatty acids. Your photoreceptor cells are beginning their regeneration, and vitamin E is there to protect them from oxidative damage. Your glymphatic system activates and starts clearing beta amyloid and other damaged proteins. These proteins are dissolved and transported out of your brain through lymphatic vessels. The clearance is more efficient because your brain has the antioxidant-supported needs from the walnuts and raisins. Your photoreceptor cells regenerate more completely because the building blocks are available. Your neuronal membranes are rebuilt more effectively because omega-3 fatty acids are circulating in your bloodstream. Your energy supply is steady, so your body doesn't need to break down other tissues for fuel. This is complete nighttime repair. This happens every single night when you implement this protocol. Night after night, the effects compound. Your neural connections strengthen. Your retinal cells regenerate more completely. Your brain becomes more resistant to oxidative damage. Over weeks and months, you notice changes. Your morning clarity improves, you recall information more easily, your visual acuity sharpens, colors seem more vibrant, your overall sense of mental clarity deepens. These aren't placebo effects. These are measurable results of giving your brain and eyes what they need for optimal repair. The research on this is compelling. Studies have shown that people who implement circadian-aligned nutritional protocols show measurable improvements in cognitive function within 4 to 6 weeks. Improvements in visual acuity testing appear within similar timeframes. And these improvements continue to build over months of consistent practice. The effects are durable, meaning they persist as long as people maintain the protocol. If someone stops the protocol, the benefits plateau but don't immediately disappear. But here's something critical. This only works with consistency. One night of eating almonds, walnuts, and raisins won't suddenly transform your brain and eyes. You won't wake up tomorrow with perfect vision and perfect memory. But night after night of this protocol creates a pattern of complete repair. Damage gets fixed. Cellular resilience builds. Over time, you're not just maintaining your brain and eye function. You're actually reversing some of the early damage that's already accumulated. Think about what this means for your long-term health. Instead of accepting vision decline and memory loss as inevitable parts of aging, you're actively protecting and regenerating these tissues. You're slowing the accumulation of beta amyloid in your brain. You're maintaining the integrity of your retinal cells. You're preserving your independence, your clarity, and your ability to enjoy life fully well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. This is about taking control of your aging process. You can't stop aging. Nobody lives forever. But you can dramatically slow the rate at which your brain and eyes decline. You can maintain visual acuity and memory function that most people lose. You can preserve the cognitive sharpness and mental clarity that people associate with youth. And the tool for doing this is remarkably simple. It's just 3 foods consumed at the right time. The reason this works is because you're not fighting against your body's natural processes. You're supporting them. Your body is designed to repair itself at night. It wants to clear out damaged proteins. It wants to regenerate retinal cells. It wants to consolidate memories and strengthen neural connections. You're just removing the constraint that was preventing these processes from completing. You're providing the nutrients that make complete repair possible. If you found this information valuable, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe. Every day I share practical, science-based information about how you can use nutrition, sleep, and lifestyle to optimize your health and slow aging. From brain health to metabolic health to longevity strategies, I cover it all. Join our community of people who are taking deliberate control of their health instead of accepting decline as inevitable. And here's my challenge to you. Tonight, get your almonds soaking if you haven't already. Gather your walnuts, measure out your raisins. 30 to 45 minutes before bed, consume this trio. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Start tonight. You're literally setting in motion a process that will improve your brain and eye function over the coming weeks and months. Every single night, you're choosing repair or degradation. You're choosing to support your glymphatic system or let it fail. You're choosing to regenerate your retinal cells or let them deteriorate. Make the choice that serves your future self. Make tonight count.